Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Monkey in the Morning. I'm your host, the Ranting Monkey. He's Jack. Say hi, Jack.
Hi, everybody.
Jack, how you doing tonight?
Oh, I'm fine. How are you?
Emotional. I've become a woman over here. Ladies and gentlemen, for the first part of the show, I just want a little bit of your attention. I'm not going to be paying attention to anything else, super chats, anything like that. I just want to talk about something real fast. There's a YouTuber by the name of Captain Corey. He is an 11-year-old boy who, when he was 6, found out he needed a new heart. And he got one, Jack. Back in 2018, he had a heart transplant. Unfortunately, the heart transplant failed. His body rejected it. And so in 2022, January of 2022, he got a new heart. And his body rejected it. Because ain't that the fucking way? So his family decided not to try again. They decided, we're not putting him through that pain. Jack, getting a new heart's not easy. They got to crack open your chest and everything. That's painful as fuck.
Oh, yeah. It's incredibly risky, and you're talking 6 months recovery time.
Yep. And his parents and him decided, no, we're not doing it again. So Corey had a wish. He wanted to get 100,000 people subscribing to his YouTube channel. And he wanted to talk to Captain Jack Sparrow. This kid loved pirates, Jack. Just loved them. And God bless Johnny Depp. Because on December 15th of last year, Johnny Depp put on all of his makeup, all of his costume, and had a video call with this kid. And that video call, along with the publicization of it, led to him getting his silver play button. He died today.
It's awful.
There's so many people who deserve it more.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. But that's unfortunately the way it always works, isn't it?
It is indeed. And his mom put out a video on Twitter. Holy fuck, is that hard to watch? Holy shit, is that hard to watch? Lots of people are, telling him happy sailing and all that. In the Navy, Jack, there's a term they use for an old sailor when he goes away, whether he passes or, leaves the service. And to Mr. Captain Corey, I would just like to say, fair winds and following seas. All the best, little guy. You did not deserve it. All right, Jack. Now that we've done that to the audience. Now we've done this to the audience.
Yeah. Shit. Well, a little emotional manipulation goes a long way.
I almost made it through that without tearing up. Almost.
You came a lot closer than I thought.
Oh, I almost. I didn't think I would do that well. But Johnny Depp, you didn't have to do that. It's a minor gesture that he did, Jack. A couple hours out of his day. Mm-hmm. But that meant the world to that kid.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that was everything to a little kid, man.
Go ahead.
When I was a kid in Boy Scouts, there was a kid in my troop that when he joined up, he had cancer. Full-on leukemia. And his parents wanted him to have like a normal childhood, so they put him in Boy Scouts. But yeah, he was a really nice kid. Pretty, easygoing, funny kid. And he died. Well, he dropped out after about 2 years, and he had gone into remission. Yeah. But when it came back, he dropped out. And when he died, that really hurt because I liked him. I thought he was a really nice kid, but he got to talk to Richard Dean Anderson.
Really?
He was a huge MacGyver fan.
That's cool.
And politically, I disagree with damn near everything Richard Dean Anderson does, but I will always respect him for calling this kid because he talked to him, I think, 3 times. And it meant the world to him. He's like, I got to talk to MacGyver. And honestly, I was a little jealous of that.
Sure.
But that was a real big deal for him, and he got to talk to him a few times. And Richard Dean Anderson didn't have to do that. So I've seen how much of an impact that can have on a kid, and how much it made his day or his youth, I would guess, because that's a huge deal for a kid. So yeah, it's life altering for that kid.
These stars, look, so many times we give them crap for, well, deserved stuff that they deserve crap for.
Mm-hmm.
But I will always give them credit when they do stuff like this, because it is such a minor thing to do.
Yeah.
But you don't, I mean, you're an actor. Typically people give you your words and everything. And going and talking to somebody with a terminal illness, a kid with terminal illness.
Yeah. That's not easy to do for anyone.
That's not easy at all. And yeah, so good on Johnny and Richard. And yeah, Captain Corey, man, you deserved better from the world. And sorry to hear that. Sorry to hear it. Should we talk about other horrible shit in the world that's not going to make people cry, at least?
We can. I mean,
yeah, why not?
Why not just go all the way off the cliff, though? I mean, we could just double down and make this look like the lighter story of the day.
You know, I really was impressed with Johnny Depp, because I mean, he had the full outfit, Jack. Even the really dark eyeliner, he went full on for this kid.
Yeah, Chris Pratt does stuff like that too occasionally.
Yes, I've heard that about him.
Yeah, he dresses like Star-Lord and goes to children's hospitals. I think him and Chris Evans went one time to children's hospital.
Yeah.
I have a lot of respect for people that do that, because that's not easy.
Do you remember? Go ahead.
Oh, it's just a nice thing to do. So
I know this shouldn't be brought up during this, because this is about that kid, but I remember during the trial, and how we kept hearing Amber Heard say she was gonna donate to charity. I was gonna. Johnny did. Granted, he didn't give him billions of dollars or whatever she had promised, but he actually went and did. Instead, I was gonna. It just gives me one more reason to support him in the trial.
Yeah.
I guess.
See him being, well, he's got kids too, so I'm sure he could relate. Plus, he made this kid's entire day, like his entire life, he did something really amazing for one person, and that you could actually see the effect you have on a person.
Yeah, he also sent this kid a PS5, which those were still quite in demand in Christmas of 2022.
Yeah.
He didn't sign it or anything. He just sent it as a present, and the mom was still in touch with somebody from Johnny's camp, and she got a hold of him. Did Johnny send this? Yeah, that's straight from Johnny Depp to him, which another cool thing he didn't have to do. Look, PS5's what, $600-700 is nothing to Johnny Depp, but
yeah,
again, everything to that kid.
Yeah, that's and I'm sure the parents could afford it with all the medical bills and stuff.
Yeah, no shit.
So that's really awesome, and I'm sure it made that kid's Christmas.
That's his Captain Jack Sparrow PS5.
Yeah, that he was probably babying that thing.
It I told you this before the show. It restores a little of my faith in humanity, and not just Johnny Depp, but everybody who went and subscribed to this kid's channel. It just half a second out of your day went and subscribed to this kid. It meant everything to him, because he wanted that silver play button. And unlike some people we could mention, he didn't cry when he got it. He was just happy as shit. He was just jumping all around, being an excited kid. But so yeah, Captain Corey passed, and that fucking sucks. But that's okay, because we still have other shit to talk about. Go ahead.
Tell us that, so he got a pirated PS5.
Yes, basically he did.
Oh my God, Johnny should have sent that in a treasure chest.
That would have been awesome. I wonder if it was even possible.
I don't know, but I got a couple of things some housekeeping things I got to take
Oh,
care of
please
real
go
quick.
ahead. We're done with that part. So yeah, everything's open back to normal. So go ahead, Jack.
So we'll get back to the regular dark and depressing
Yes,
shit.
indeed.
At the end of last show, a super chat came, or Streamlabs came through right after we ended. So thank you, Frosted Glass. I went to a 2-week college course one summer during high school at an out-of-state college. I spent 2 painful weeks in that room doing nothing because I didn't know anyone and couldn't socialize. This video is the fucking ghost of Christmas past for me.
Oh, it's
But,
the kid from yesterday. Yeah.
yeah. No, dude, I relate way too well to that kid. That was just heart-wrenching to watch.
Yeah.
The kids shouldn't have to go through stuff like that.
I agree.
It's awful. And thank you, Dixie Rose, for the incredibly generous donation with the private message. Yes, I did. And thank you very, very, very much. You're awesome.
All right. So, Jack, I don't know if you saw the title of the stream.
No, I don't pay attention.
Or the thumbnail where I'm basically daring YouTube to punish me this time. Tall person, thank you so much. Who says, happy no bra day. That's always a happy day, my sir. Just saying. Thank you so much for the donation.
Layla said, I can't believe this Jack guy called Shirley Temple ugly. It's not my fault she looks like Lacey Green, Stewie Griffin in drag.
She was a cute kid, but in that
obnoxious,
in that kid looking way, like, oh, it's so ugly, it's cute.
Like, oh, you're adorable now. Go away. I am much more of a W.C. Fields kind of person. Like, go away, kid. You're bothering me. I never understood the appeal of Shirley Temple or why she was like America's darling or any of that bullshit. She was just some annoying kid.
Tailfin asks, so is no panty day tomorrow? With the right woman, every day is no panty day.
Yeah.
All right. So, Jack, we are going to talk about beating women. And I've changed my mind on beating women. I now fully support beating women. Men beating women is a good thing. It's a positive thing. It's a progressive thing. Men should be beating women because we are better at being women than they are.
Obviously. I mean, that's a problem with the Thailand horse.
Well, this is once again shown to us by the Netherlands, who crowned Ricky Valerie Cole, I think I say that, as their Miss Netherlands. Miss Netherlands here was born with a penis. I'm going to say that again. Miss Netherlands was born with a penis.
Does she still have one?
I don't know. I honestly don't know. She's transgender, but they don't say whether she's gone through bottom surgery. I have no idea.
Is she Asian? Because they do amazing tuck jobs. You got to be careful.
Ricky Valley, I want to read this story for one line at the end because it's ridiculous. Go ahead, bud.
Right before you do that, Eagle said, go figure their government just collapsed today, too.
Is that true?
I have an article on that.
After winning the pageant on Saturday, Cole will advance to represent her Dutch homeland at the Miss Universe pageant, set to take place in El Salvador later this year. Are they trying to get people kidnapped?
Apparently.
The 22-year-old was crowned with a tiara by her predecessor, Ona Moody. Chick named Moody.
Fitting.
I'm just going to leave it there. On stage at the AFAS Theater. I did it. Yes, I am trans and I want to share my story, but I'm also Ricky, and that's what matters to me. And wherever you are in the world, I want to be there for you and be an example that I missed as a little me. You meant little boy. I don't care about most of this here, but this part, Thai business mogul, bringing up the ties, Thai business mogul, and wow, Jack Rajutip, a trans activist who's also transgender, bought the Miss Universe organization last year. She has said she's committed to advancing the organization as an inclusive platform and wants to transform the brand for the next generation. All right, strap in, Jack. Here it comes. I don't call Miss Universe a beauty pageant anymore, she told Metro Weekly in January. I call it a women's empowerment competition. I feel like that needs highlighted. A women's empowerment competition won by a biological man. Hey, women, how empowered do you feel by that? When men beat you at something, how empowered do you feel?
When a man beats you, do you feel empowered? Because apparently you're supposed to.
Thank you, Retro V Gamers. Sub to Kraken the Box for a good kid memory. Kraken, like spelled like Kraken, the box. Kraken the Box. Thank you for the donation. I appreciate it. How in the hell is this women's empowerment? How is letting biological men compete against women in a women's pageant empowering women?
Yeah. Well, it reminds them of their place in the world. You know, second to men.
I mean, we really are. It's empowering women to beat them. Now, remember, guys, this is not beat them physically. This is beat them in competition. I mean, sometimes physically in the MMA.
Yeah.
Rugby. What other things if they let biological men beat women in? I don't think I've seen it in boxing yet. We've seen it in soccer with Riley Dennis kicking the shit out of people. But mostly we mean in competitions that aren't physically violent. So I'm not for physically beating a woman, in case that came off wrong at the top of the show. I just support men doing anything that women do, where typically we wouldn't be allowed to, right? Because we're men. Throw on a dress and go out there and beat some women. Because until enough women get beat, this nonsense isn't going to end. We just got, okay, hashtag beat women. That's what I want started. Hashtag beat women. And it is just because I believe in inclusivity, Jack. As somebody who believes in inclusivity, hashtag beat women. Now, when I say beat women, I got to be careful here because I want to beat paleo women. Neo women don't beat. Neo women need to beat the paleo women. So the women with penises go out there and beat women, because beating women makes you a good person. Hashtag beat women. That's women's empowerment. Hashtag beat women. At some point, we're going to catch on to this, right? At some point, society is going to go, aren't we just letting men beat women? Aren't we just telling women that they will never beat men? We have to be at that point soon, right?
Well, the patriarchy just became the matriarchy, so I don't know.
Well, yeah, I guess that does take care of the patriarchy. We don't have to hear about that shit anymore.
Yeah.
Because we got, chicks with wieners beating their chicks, though. So, I'm empowering. I'm
kind of surprised that there isn't a transgender, a Miss Transgender pageant, whatever they want to call it. Yeah, well, the trans guy that bought the Miss Universe or whatever.
Yeah.
Pretty convincing looking if you're not used to looking at Asians. So I'm surprised they don't have one specifically just for trans people. Of course, the Asian market's going to win because they are the best at it.
Well, Jack, you can't do the just trans beauty pageant, right? Because then you're saying they're not really women. You have to let them go against the women.
As I guess.
That's how you make it empowering to women is to let trans women come in and beat them. I can't be the only one who sees how fucking ridiculous this is. We can't be the only ones who see how ridiculous this is. What do you think your chances are of winning Miss Universe?
50-50.
I'm thinking higher than that. You have a trans person who bought it, and there's actually supposed to, I think it's Puerto Rico. It's in the story here. I don't really care. But I think Puerto Rico has a trans person coming up in theirs, in their Miss Puerto Rico thing. So one of them will win it. One of them will win it. There'll be a kickstand for them to put their tiara on.
I think a trans person won a couple years ago.
Not the full thing, I don't think.
Oh, okay.
I
was
Nuts
head, but probably wrong.
Nuts says let them go against women without anyone knowing they are trans. Oh, we can't do that.
Oh, they got to announce it for virtue points. Look, maybe the contestant won't want to tell everyone, but you know that they're going to use it for promotional reasons.
Oh, you might be thinking of this, Jack. Former Miss Nevada, Cataluna Enriquez, became the first trans contestant in a Miss US pageant. But yeah, so far, none of these, at least in the story, none of them are mentioned that actually won the full universe.
I want to say Miss Thailand won, or some one of the Asians, I'm pretty sure, won some contest, some women's contest.
Oh, I'm sure. But I'm just annoyed at this because seriously, what we're talking about is men beating women, and not the physical way. I mean, that's bad enough too, but what message are you sending to little girls? What message are you sending? Hey. No matter what you do, men are going to win. It's a foregone conclusion. You are not as good as the men at anything, including being a woman. You are not even better than the men at being yourself. That's an empowering message for little girls.
It is. Now get in your hijab. Real fast. Thank you, Frosted Glass. Oh, I got to read this one.
Well, while you're doing that, Ms. Nuts, you seem a little intense in chat there. Anything we want to talk about? You know, I love you, sweetie. I'm not going to bring that joke up here. Anyway, but yeah, we're just telling young girls that you'll never be as good as the boys. Good luck at even being a woman. Nice try.
Oh, okay. Thank you, Frosted Glass. Miss Universe contestant from another country is standing on the stage. The new Dutch contestant walks up to her. You got a problem? You gonna die? I can't do the German accent, dude, but
it's what I really want to see is I want to see one of these trans contestants go up there with that supports the new embrace the bulge thing and be up there in their evening gown with just a big old heart on and be like, I'm a woman. Was his Netherlands fixed? Again, we don't know. Nothing I found, and I did not look that hard, I'm be honest with you, but nothing I found told me whether she had bottom surgery or not. So I don't know. No idea. All right, Jack, let's move along to something a little less stupid.
That's not going to happen. What are you talking about?
Just as dumb. So we were talking about the sports teams, yesterday, or was it the day before? I don't remember which, but this guy, I don't know if you've seen him around. He's a Native American who likes to try to piss people off. He's the one that said that he was going to open I don't think you were here for that. He was going to open a fried dough shop or something, donuts. But he wasn't going to let white people in or some stupid shit because of the Supreme Court decision. He's not smart, but he thinks he is. And he put this up. Calm down. I'm just an indigenous man proud of his local sports team. And he's wearing a shirt that kind of has the logo of the Redskins, and underneath it, but there's a white guy in there instead of an Indian that says Caucasians.
Yeah, this is an old picture. I've seen this around for years.
Yeah. Same idiot. But here's the deal. That's not funny. That's not fun. Because like Redskins isn't, Caucasian is actually a term that has been used scientifically before.
Yeah, he should have said honkies.
Honkies or crackers.
Yeah, or the white breads.
Yeah.
Or the mayos.
I
Then it
bet
would
you
have been
would.
funnier, but I would still wear that shirt.
I want to make a shirt now, Jack. And I don't know which logos I'm going to appropriate to make it, but it's going to be a championship game shirt between the honkies and the crackers.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'd go with the mayos and the crackers or the saltines.
Mayos,
And then you could have a mayo bottle and some saltine crackers. Go like head to head.
Mayos versus the white breads.
Yeah, and then you
Yeah.
could actually have the food like head to head, like they do with the Bud Light football thing.
Yeah, yeah. Frank, thanks so much. He says pale faces, right?
Yeah,
I mean, Caucasians.
that's just lazy.
It is.
There were
At
a
least,
bunch of better ones that he could have used, but he chose not to.
yeah, because we're told, the redskin thing was a slur. Caucasian isn't a slur.
Yeah.
So if you're gonna do it,
that's a category.
you kind of pussed out here. You kind of pussed out a little bit.
No, I think he's just lacks creativity.
No, I think he pussed out. I think you're giving him too much credit there because he's trying to be edgy, but you can't go too far because then you'll get in trouble. Can't call him the honkies. Should have called him the honkies, man. It bothers me it didn't call him the honkies. Maybe he couldn't spell honky.
That's a possibility. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, your mascot could be a dude in a business suit holding a briefcase looking at his watch. There's a lot you could do with this, but instead, he just kind of dropped the ball completely. He sort of half-assed his idea.
Frosted Glass, thanks so much. Do we have to teach people how to be racist? Apparently. If redskin is on par with Caucasian, then it's literally not offensive at all.
Yeah.
Because Caucasian's not offensive at all.
Yeah, and the image also kind of suffers too because it's a very generic image. Whereas the Redskins, he had like the feather and like some earrings or something. It had some accoutrements.
It had just headdress.
Generic white dude.
Yeah, the Redskins had the headdress.
Yeah, so why don't you have like a businessman? Have a head with a tie coming down, or something like that. You could even dress him like a old Union soldier from the cavalry or something.
Oh, there you go, Eagle. Dude should have a mullet. There you go.
Oh, yes. Now we're talking.
Give him a little rat tail. Something that says honky. Because that's just a generic honky. All right. Anyhow, I just wanted to point that out because if you're going to do something like that, make it more fun. At least make me laugh. Because I get what he was going for. He just dropped the ball on it. Try a little harder next time. Come on. Call Nick Fuentes. He'll teach you how to be a racist. It's not, he's happy to do it. And I'm sure he knows all the words for it, Jack.
I wonder if Tariq Nasheed labeled this guy as a suspected white supremacist because he's advocating for Caucasians.
He probably did. Probably had no other idea. Jack, this next one's going to scare us. Ladies and gentlemen, I apologize, but it's the kind of stuff that we have to talk about on this show. Unfortunately, our president's a retard.
No.
And
what?
Occasionally we have to talk about his dumbass. Biden blasted for revealing sensitive U.S. military info during an interview.
I mean, are you shocked?
No, I'm not. But I am shocked. No, I'm not. But I want to be shocked that the media itself didn't cover this story with all of their bullshit about Trump showing battle plans for a battle that never happened. That's like 5 years old to a reporter who was doing a book on him. Oh my God, he gave the secrets away. Nobody's saying shit about Biden really doing it. All right. President Joe Biden faced backlash on Sunday after he revealed sensitive U.S. military information during an interview that critics said could make U.S. adversaries more aggressive. Biden told CNN's Fareed Zakaria that the reason that he's giving cluster munitions to Ukraine is because the U.S. is running out of 155 millimeter artillery shells.
Yeah, that's something you want to tell our enemies. Good job, dipshit. We should be giving them anything. Haven't we given enough to these freeloaders?
Yes. This is Zachariah. I'm not sure how you say his name. These are weapons that 100 nations banned, including some of our closest NATO allies. When there was news that the Russians might be using it, admittedly against civilians, your press secretary said it might constitute war crimes. What made you change your mind and decide to give them these weapons? You pushed out on that question. You should have asked him if he thought it would be war crimes. You pussy ass bitch.
Well, I mean, they are laundering a lot of money for Biden over in Ukraine, and they can't ask him about that.
This is Biden's response. The Ukrainians are running out of ammunition. Wait. I thought they were fine. They were winning. You probably shouldn't be telling the Russians that they're almost out of ammunition on the Ukrainian side. Just a little hint. The ammunition that they use to call them 155 millimeter weapons. This is a war relating to munitions. As opposed to ones where we're throwing cotton balls at each other?
Yes. Well, see, what we were going to do is send them a bunch of pistol braces so they could use larger rounds. It would just magically upgrade their guns.
But you would still need the munitions to fire.
No, they come out of bunny poop. You didn't know that, but that's how Biden thinks ammo is made.
This is a war relating to munitions. This is our president. And they're running out of that ammunition, and we're low on it. And so what I finally did, I took the recommendations of the Defense Department to not permanently, but to allow for this, allow in this transition period where we have more 155 weapons, these shells for the Ukrainians to provide them with something that has a very low dud rate. It's about, I think it's 150, which is the least likely to be blowing. I'm reading it as written, which is written as he said it. So you guys can read along and see that I'm not actually fucking it up. It's just, this is how his brain works. And it is not used in civilian areas. They pinky sword.
Yeah. Watch one of these things hit Poland.
They're trying to get through those trenches and to stop those tanks from rolling. Cluster bombs are not going to stop tanks. They're not direct enough. You need the 155 millimeter shell. Cluster bombs are for clearing out people.
In Poland, apparently.
They're trying to get through those trenches and stop those tanks from rolling. And so, but it was not an easy decision, and we're not signatories to that agreement, but it took me a while to be convinced to do it. But the main thing is they either have the weapons to stop the Russians now from there, keeping them from stopping the Ukrainian offensive through these areas, or they don't. And I think they needed them.
That's a lot of fragment sentences.
It really is. Anytime he talks, it's like that. Spice warning. This deserves this, Mr. President. All I have to say is N-word what? I can't say it. I can't. I appreciate it, but I can't say it. And you're right.
You kind of ducked out on who that sent that. Who was that?
Oh, that was Dark Resurrect with a feminist $12. Thank you,
nice.
Sir. Thank you. His job is to lie. Well, yeah, you're not. Well, his job's not to lie. It's just what he does. There's no part of the president's job description that says lie. That's just what he does. How in the absolute hell did we get this idiot on television in order to defend sending cluster bombs, which those 100 countries have said we're going to ban because, yeah, they're just massive killers. They're not for, stopping artillery or tanks or planes. They're for killing people. They're anti-personnel. And they tend to end up being blown up in, areas with lots of people, Jack.
I hear what you're saying, but it's okay when we do it, right?
Well, yeah, we didn't sign on to that agreement. But how do you get this idiot on TV? Instead of him just going, hey, we're not a signatory to that, so we don't abide by it. So we gave them to them because this is what they need. They need some ammunition. No, this fucking idiot goes out there and tells the whole world, yeah, they're running out of ammo and so are we. What?
Well, he was just trying to tell his Chinese benefactors that the plan is working.
Atheist Icon said we ran out of our conventional. Yeah. We have been talking about this for months. It was very early on in the Ukrainian war when the U.S. started to run out of munitions.
Yeah, because we were giving them all to them. It was ridiculous.
Yeah. And these idiots, just give them anything. All right, whatever, I guess. The whole thing, Jack, is just kind of stupid. And look, if we just said, hey, that's not something we do. We don't care about their stupid ass agreement. Except you did have Corinne Jean-Pierre come out and go, was it Corinne or was it Redhead?
It was Saki.
Was it Saki? Saki go, yes, that's probably a
war crime.
War crime.
Yep. Yep.
Well, actually, what she said is it might be a war crime.
Excuse me a second. Something's going on.
Oh, sure. She said, sorry, guys, I was typing. That's why my brain went brr. And yeah, a cluster munition or a cluster bomb is a weapon containing multiple explosive submunitions. Cluster munitions are dropped from an aircraft or fired from the ground. Yeah, and so you don't get the big punch. Uh-oh, did my internet just go to crap? Anyway, you don't get the big punch you would get from a single shell. And you're not stopping tanks with it unless you happen to hit the driver with the fucking thing. Tank's going to go like, oh, okay, and keep driving. But yeah, we're out of our 155s and they're out of theirs. Anyhow. Sucks to be us, I guess. If you're the Chinese or the Russians or somebody else who's looking to fuck with us, now's a good time. Travis Gardner, thank you. Be careful when they get information disorder syndrome. You sent that to me in DM, didn't you? Oh yeah. I forgot to even think about loading that one up. Hang on, where's it at? This stupid. You got my fucking blood pressure going just mentioning it. Thank you for the donation, by the way, and for sending this to me. Information disorder syndrome and its management. Many of us may be unknowingly suffer from information disorder syndrome. It is more prevalent due to the digitized world where the information flow to every individual's phone, tablet, and computer in no time. Information disorder syndrome is the sharing or developing of false information with or without the intent of harming, and they are categorized as misinformation, disinformation, and malinformation. The severity of the syndrome? Are you kidding? Jack, are you listening?
What did I come back to?
Information disorder syndrome.
Is this some new made up shit?
Yes. Well, and it's not new. This is from 2020, actually. Information disorder syndrome is the sharing or developing of false information with or without the intent of harming, and they are categorized as mis, dis, and malinformation. The severity of the syndrome is categorized into 3 grades. Grade 1 is a milder form in which the individual shares false information without the intent of harming others. Grade 2 is a moderate form in which the individual develops and shares false information with the intent of making money and political gain, but not with the intent of harming others. Grade 3 is a severe form in which the individual develops and shares false information with the intent of harming others. Since when is a syndrome? How does this classify as a syndrome? This is behavior. Even if you agree with this stupid shit, how is it a information disorder syndrome? How's it a?
I can answer that.
Oh, please do.
Because I need attention, and the only way I can do that is to be classified with some mental illnesses, because that's how you get praised, how stunning and brave you are. Ergo, this has to be a syndrome that I have way too much free time on my hands.
The management of this disorder requires the management of false information, which is rumor surveillance, targeted messaging, and community engagement. Repeated sufferers at the grade 1 level, all sufferers from the grade 2 and 3 levels, need psychosocial counseling and sometimes require strong regulations and enforcement to control such information disorder. The most critical intervention is to be mindful of the fact that not all posts in social media and news are real and need to be interpreted carefully. I really, really wish that this itself was a joke.
Oh, it's a joke. It's just not funny because of how many fucking people this is going to impact.
It's an official website of the United States government, Jack.
I hate everything about the modern era.
The National Library of Medicine.
When did we drift into bizarro dimension? Seriously.
Oh, fuck. I wish I knew. I wish I knew. I was also sent one called sluggish schizophrenia or slow progressive schizophrenia.
Is that when you're too lazy to actually get schizophrenia?
It's a form of schizophrenia characterized by a slow progressive course. It's diagnosed even in patients who show no symptoms of schizophrenia.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Yeah, I don't know how you do that. Yes, you show no symptoms at all, but you have this. I mean, library? Or did I say library? It's library. I said that, right? I said it right.
I don't know.
My 7th grade English teacher would come back from the grave and kill me if I said it wrong.
Yeah, probably.
She did not like people that said library.
I get it.
We were allowed to get passes to go to the library during lunch, and lots of us did it because we could go play on the computers or read or not have to sit in that stinky ass lunchroom. And there was this one kid. This is a kid. I don't know. He wasn't retarded, Jack, but he might as well have been. But every day I would go up and get my pass, and then he would go up and ask if he could get a pass to go to the library, and she'd tell him no. And it took him like 3 months to finally ask her why. And she said, because I don't know what a library is. And so he pronounced it properly. That's, oh, you're putting emphasis on the lie part. I got you for the Library of Medicine there. And so from then on, he pronounced it correctly. But yeah, she let him hang for like 3 months without telling him why.
That's his fault.
Yeah, he never asked. Oh, anyhow, he's the same kid I told you guys about before, where I was allowed to talk in class and he wasn't. And he once asked the teacher why. And she said, because Frank gets A's on his test and you don't. Which was entirely true at the time. All right, Jack. So our next thing, wait, where did that go?
Oh, quick side note. Fun story. My nephew used to be on the soccer team with this fat, stupid kid. Everybody called him Bandon. His name was Brandon, but he couldn't pronounce Brandon, and he's like 13, so he called himself Bandon.
Oh.
You know what his favorite food was? Paschetti.
No. Paschetti? Oh, my God.
Yeah, 13 years old. And I have a cousin who kept her 5-year-old in a toddler stroller. So she'd push him around in the stroller. I didn't recognize her because I hadn't seen her in years. And I was like, that kid is gigantic. Then she's like, hi, Jack. I'm like, oh, shit. Not related to you.
It's hard as a parent and now as a grandparent because you learn with your first kid that all those cute things they say go away. And eventually they start talking like a little adult, right?
Yeah.
They pronounce everything, they can enunciate. And it sucks because you miss all those cute little words.
Yeah, but it's weird when they're older and doing them.
Yeah, you have to teach them that. Otherwise, yeah, they're 10 years old still saying Paschetti. That's, yeah, you're just making your kid sound retarded. Teach them the right way to say it.
Yeah.
Now,
that kid, I think, was retarded. But
I mean, that's fine.
but
But
it stops being cute.
You don't go out of your way to correct it. Just when you're talking to them, you use the right words and they eventually pick it up.
Yeah.
Sometimes you have to actually correct it, but for the most part, it's just they finally learn. A lot of the sounds we make in the English language are not normal sounds. You know how many kids I can count that can say my name, that can say Frank? It's not many. All of them drop the R. If they pronounce it all, it's Fank. Because fur is not a normal sound humans make.
I don't know. I think that's a normal sound for German children.
Perhaps, but yeah, not for English.
No,
anyway, Jack,
I think you're right,
let's judge women.
Oh, I like doing that. I'm looking at a picture
too.
of a woman now, and I'm judging it in my head.
We're going to look at 3 pictures of women here. V put this out. I don't pay attention to V, but Weibo had responded to it, and man, she's getting quite feminist, ain't she? But V said Hollywood keeps trying to push a triangle in a circular hole while screaming at the hole for not accepting the triangle. And then he shares this picture. It says random Midwest.
Before she got mad.
Random Midwest minimum wage cashier, and then on the other side, who Hollywood is trying to sell as new beauty symbols. And another person said they're all beautiful. No, they're not. Women, stop doing that. Okay. The chick on the left, clearly cute.
Yeah, she's cute.
What's her name? The chick in the top corner here.
You gotta say it like perfume. Zendaya.
That's an ugly bitch.
It depends on the film, because she's okay looking sometimes.
No, when she ugly and then you put on a whole bunch of makeup and then she's pretty, she ugly.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, like Pokimane. She is average at best until she puts on, somebody else's face and like, oh, she's pretty. So she's not pretty. She can make herself pretty. That's different. Zendaya is an ugly woman. The chick who played the Little Mermaid has fetal alcohol syndrome eye spacing.
Yeah, I find that chick weird looking. I think Zendaya is way better looking than that chick.
Your
and like
eyes
you said,
not,
Zendaya's average.
Her eyes she could have played Flounder in this movie. Her eyes are on the side of her fucking head.
Like,
so ladies,
if I saw any of these women as cashiers at a grocery store, yeah, I might try and bang one in the bathroom. But the blonde is probably the best looking one. And it's not because she's white, because we all know I prefer Asians. It's just that the other two are very average. Well, the one at the bottom, the mermaid chick, I don't find her attractive at all.
Zendaya has a boyish face. She just does. She looks like a feminine boy. And I'm tired of trying to, or for us to pretend this, but I want to point something out. Hollywood has always done this. Hollywood is not just now pushing ugly people on us. Jack, you ever seen B. Arthur?
Yeah. Or the chick from Give Me a Break.
Many of you will know B. Arthur from the Golden Girls. Oh, well, she was really old. Well, when she played Maud, she wasn't really old, and she still looked like a man. I'm fairly certain B. Arthur peed standing up. And here's the thing. They're not hired. Angela Lansbury was actually very pretty when she was young, Frosted. You ever seen pictures of Angela when she was young? Back before she became the teapot and the lady who killed all her friends? Yeah, she was actually very pretty. But the way that they hire people in Hollywood is not, look, they want them to be hot, but it's who's best on that casting couch. That's how they get hired.
Yeah, well, I mean, Jennifer Lawrence, a very, very average girl with weird boobs.
Yeah.
Same with Scarlett Johansson. I'm sorry, those thunder thighs and that weird moon face like Jay Leno.
Look, that doesn't mean they can't act. Most of them do fine, Jack. And look, for the record, ladies, I'm not just being mean to ladies. There's a lot of really ugly fuckers in Hollywood on the male side too.
Oh yeah, but that's a different standard. Women find different things attractive.
But no, there's some just flat out ugly men. Like, what's the name of that guy who did the "What's up, fellow kids" or whatever meme that's in that movie?
Oh yeah, I just drew a blank on his name. Steve Buscemi.
Buscemi, yeah. That dude looks like his parents were related before marriage and became quite successful.
And was cursed by a gypsy.
Yeah. So, I mean, there's plenty of ugly dudes out there, but nobody ever talks about that. So it's always the women thing. So, women, please stop lying about women being. Yeah, Gary Busey, that motherfucker's ugly as shit. Brad Pitt. Have you ever seen Brad Pitt without his makeup on?
He's just some middle-aged dude with a crushed-in face.
He had horrible acne, and he got horrible acne scars.
Yeah, so, like not like Robert Davi bad, but pretty close.
Without his makeup on, he is quite unattractive.
Yeah.
Especially on the one side. I forget which side it is, but you'll notice in most movies, he's shot almost exclusively from one side of his face.
Yeah.
It's because even with the makeup, they can't get it quite caked in there enough. So, yeah, there's ugly people all over Hollywood. They put a shit ton of makeup on them to make them look good. But it's not like they've always been attractive. Sometimes we even hire British actors, man.
Oh, man. You hate that guy that plays Doctor Strange, Benedict Cumberbatch.
Yeah, the foot face guy. Yeah, that dude's ugly as shit. So,
real quick, thank you, Frosted Glass. Lies, monkey. I saw the Gaslight. Angela Lansbury's first movie appearance. Even in her teens, she had jowls that make Walter Matthau jealous.
Wow.
I'm kind of with Frosted on this one. She was never attractive.
I disagree quite wholeheartedly. But anyhow, yeah, you guys, you just being mean.
Or
just being mean. No. Fuck that. Now we got to pull it up on the screen. Because how
we're
dare
gonna have
you?
another Batgirl incident, aren't we?
No, it's just that this is a really small
Lansbury pictures.
It's a really small picture, so there it's pixelated. There we go.
Yeah, that looks like it's been photoshopped. Her chin is.
They didn't have Photoshop
like Margaret
back
Hamilton.
Then. What the fuck are you talking about?
Well, that's been Photoshop modern.
Bullshit.
Somebody did it recently to hide her jowls.
You guys are just
she looks
mean.
like a droopy dog with a witch chin.
Oh, bullshit.
Margaret Hamilton was impersonating her in Wizard of Oz.
How dare you? How dare you? No, she was quite attractive when she was younger.
Yeah.
Here's another one. Like you guys are just mean is all. I thought I was mean.
You'd bang Rome girl though, Monk.
Look at her. Look how pretty she is. And granted, in this picture, she's whited out, but still.
Why is Monkey showing Richard Nixon in a wig?
Oh, you guys are full of shit.
No, her face is too fat. She has like baby face cheeks, where she should have more defined cheekbones.
See, I don't like that sallow look in women, where it looks like they're still sucking a dick. But see, you like Asian chicks, so you like them. You like them real skinny.
I like them hot. Yeah.
Nah, you like them. You like them fresh out of the concentration camp.
I said hot.
I wasn't judging you. I was just pointing it out.
I like them like they just escaped North Korea.
Yes.
I was looking at a North Korean refugee earlier going, oh, she's hot. I don't know if you know who that Yeonmi Park is. She escaped North Korea and she does like talk show circuit talking about communism. Mm-hmm. She's smoking hot. She's like 4'10". I'm like, well, hello, nurse.
Yeah, no idea who that is.
Oh, yeah, she's really smart.
Now we're gonna do some audience participation, Jack. We don't do that very often. They participate great. They're wonderful at engagement because monkey audience, best audience in the world. But this time is specifically for you guys to join in. What is the fastest way to calm a woman down when she is angry? I want your best tips in chat if you want. Jack, I maintain, this is what I put on Twitter, that you just remind her that she's only mad because she's on her period.
Oh yeah, that's a really good point.
Yeah, women love when you do that.
That's true. That's true. You could also remind her that she's talking without permission from her father or husband.
Oh, that'll do it. That'll do it. We're getting some good and bad answers in chat. By the way, do not take my advice on that. Somebody answered me with that, and then they'll cry. I'm like, if you say to a woman, you're only mad because you're on your period, and she starts crying, you need to leave the area immediately.
Yeah, because she is, and she's going to get away with murdering you.
Yeah, exactly. She will kill you.
If there's one woman on that jury or a man that's married, you're toast.
You're toast. You're just done.
She is going to be off the hook for your murder.
We can't bring up the Sean Connery thing, but I see what you're saying there. Yeah. Nut said tacos. The real answer depends on what they're mad about, honestly.
Because there's always some dizzy bullshit.
Okay, you say that, but I'm a husband, and I know there are absolutely times that it was my fault she was mad.
That doesn't mean she should be yelling at you.
They don't always yell. They don't. Yeah. Actually, I prefer my wife yelling.
Do you ever just throw a 20 at her and be like, calm down? There you go. This is what you really want, isn't it?
The truth of the matter is, if she's yelling at you, you're probably better off than if she just goes silent. Because if she goes silent, there's a storm of brewing.
Whatever.
And that's when you ask, baby, what's wrong? And you're like, nothing. I'm fine. And she says that to you?
Oh, yeah, you're in trouble. Travis said Xanax worked for his ex.
Nuts says, do not ask if it's her 28th day. You know, the best part of that is that a lot of times it is that it's their period. And they even know it's that. But you pointing it out will make them mad that you know it's that.
Well, at our age, you can say things like, look, I don't know what you're mad about. I know it's not your period because you've already gone through your special time.
Are you having a hot flash right now?
Yes, a hot flash.
For you younger guys out there, this is true. If your wife gets mad and you can't figure out why, she's just unusually grumpy, you should be making sure you know her cycle, okay?
Yeah. Oh, man, that's just advice for any dude. Always know your woman's cycle.
And if it's coming up on that and she's starting to get grumpy, know what it is that calms her down. For most women, it's chocolate, but hashtag not all.
Yeah.
You should just keep a stash.
On standby, a repair list so you can immediately start working on something. So she's like, all right, he's being handy. And a box of chocolates, some money, and a kitten.
No, just her favorite candy is usually good enough. But whatever you do not bring it up that it's her period, because even if it is, that's not making it any better. Usually the honest answer is to just discuss things calmly. And be honest about it. Because like I said, Jack, there are many times where I know it was my fault. And like, you know what? You're right. I was fucking up. I was being stupid there. I'm sorry.
You're leaking out of your bonus hole, aren't you?
No, that's just I've been married a long time, Jack, and I'm honest about myself. And I know I'm an asshole. I know it. So, sometimes you got to just be honest and be like, yeah, that was now, hashtag not always. If it's not your fault, don't take it, don't be like, oh, I'm sorry I did that when it wasn't you. You sound just like your mother. Yeah, give that a try.
Yeah. Is your mom on her period? Because you sound like her.
Now, getting my wife to apologize for anything, that's something different. Absolutely. Getting a woman to apologize for being the shitty one in that situation is impossible. I'm just going to say it's impossible.
Women don't apologize. They just don't berate you for a day.
Yeah, ladies, it's okay for you guys to occasionally be like, yeah, you're right, I was wrong.
No, if you look, If a woman gets mad, you just point out that yes, the money is in the envelope on the nightstand. Now get out. That's
Yeah,
really
see,
all you got to do. Fixes a lot of problems.
yeah, Jack, we're talking about different kinds of women here. We're talking about
Oh,
relationships. Yeah.
no, I know better than that. Maids and whores. That's really. That's wrong.
Monk, you sound like your dad. Actually, no. My dad was a very easygoing guy. Never into the conflict, Jack. Certainly not as profane, even as a sailor, not as profane as I am.
Yeah, I just made that joke, regional. Thank you, Evolved Potato. The fastest way is obviously to explain to her why she's angry and why it doesn't matter because it's something she just made up in her mind and isn't real. Oh God, you're gonna get stabbed. On
You
second
are.
thought, that won't work because it requires reason and tiny girl brains stop that. It's a lot of facts you're dropping there, Evolved. I like where your head's at.
I don't think men and women are meant to live together.
They can, they just can't coexist for long periods together. My sister's ex-husband, his parents had the ideal arrangement. They had a shared bedroom, and they also would use the guest room for when there were problems or fights or whatever. But they also had their own separate dens. You know, like he had his own room with a TV. She had her own room with a TV, and they were like little living rooms, but for one for her and one for him, so they could do whatever. And yeah, they're stupid wealthy, but that's not the point. It worked really well for their relationship because if they didn't want to deal with each other, they could avoid each other most of the day.
Oh, I think this is why employment works so well to help um, couples stay together more. You get time away from each other, and you have
Yeah.
to.
Yeah.
We're too different. And look, Jack, sometimes like me and Lady Monkey, I've mentioned this before. It was a rough road, but we've gotten to where we can live with each other. She knows my habits, I know hers. I know what drives her nuts, so I try not to do it around her. I have my little office here where I spend most of my time. Go up and see her, have a few hours together, and then separate. Because more than that, something bad's going to happen.
Well, otherwise you run out of things to talk about too, and that doesn't help the situation.
I
Like, yeah,
yeah.
that's why I see these guys buying these like doomsday bunkers, and they get like one storage container. I'm like, no, you need to have at least 2 rooms in that thing if you have a
Absolutely.
wife. So because there have to be separation areas so you can avoid each other for a little while. Otherwise, you're gonna murder some. There's gonna be one survivor in there.
Evil Ferret says my girlfriend lives in the apartment down the hall. It's great. Yeah, I honestly think married couples shouldn't live in houses. They should live in villas where each of them has their own little house.
Yeah.
And then like a central living area where they can come hang out, watch TV together, have a communal meal, and then go back their separate ways.
Yeah, it worked out great for my ex-brother-in-law's parents. It really does help, if you have that extra space where you can just get away from the other person and avoid them and do your own thing. Like you said, working is really good for that, but wealthy people, that's why they own mansions, I think.
Oh yeah. That's why you have homes with like 36 rooms, is so they can hide. But
yes, not in a bleeding shed.
I really do think, we're just too different. We really are. And women, you guys know it, you are actually more emotional. And us guys, we try to solve problems. One of the hardest things you can learn as a husband is not to try to solve her problems. Because they'll have a problem. You're like, oh, well, this is how you fix it. And you are suddenly in trouble. Like, what did I do? And you're supposed to commiserate. That's what you got to learn. You got to learn to commiserate. Like, oh, that sucks. You're right, baby. That sucks. Because if you try to solve her problems, she'll look at you and go, don't you think I know that? Like, well, why don't you go do it? And that's not what they're looking for. It really is. It's one of the hardest things as a man to be like, wait, I'm not supposed to fix this problem? Because that seems like the way to, get over this shit.
Well, they don't want their problems fixed because they like to complain.
No,
hardwired into their head.
Well, they do want to complain about it, Jack, but they will fix it. Most of the time, they know what to do themselves anyway. But they do need that moment to deal with it emotionally, where we don't. We're like, okay, this happened. Let's go fucking fix it. So yeah, young men out there, learn from my mistakes, and so many men before me. I'm not the first guy to figure this shit out.
The problem is that when you're young, you don't listen. So you end up having to go through all the trials and tribulations that everybody warned you to avoid.
Jack, we're not going to watch it, but did you see this fucking video? I watched it when it first came out, and I meant to bring it up so long ago. Do you know who this is?
Yes. Did we talk about this?
I don't think we talked about it on stream.
Oh, I was watching something where somebody talked about this. I think it might have been AP stream.
It could have been. It could have been. I forget her name. Colleen something.
Hey, let me grab a couple of things before we get too far.
Sure, go ahead.
Because this is messy. Thank you, Travis Gardner. Lean into it. Drop everything that'll piss her off at once and hide. I know what I've been doing through 2 wives. Still hiding from them, huh? Yeah, I mean that is one tactic. Is once she starts getting mad, you just throw out some other shit that'll piss her off. Yeah, banged your sister. And thank you, Dark Resurrect, for that feminist donation. I love my wife to death, and she loves me. But there have been times we just look at each other and without saying, "I've had enough of you. Go away." Yep. Usually happens on our days off. Yeah, see, retirement is going to be a bitch. You have to find some TV shows you can like together, or go in different rooms.
And I did remember the full name of her, but the Miranda Sings is the part I forgot. So thank you, Gray, and thank you, RJ. Yeah, just it's a hard road because we're not meant to live together. I'm positive of that. We're not meant to work together. We're not supposed to play together. We're supposed to love each other, hug and hump and cuddle and then go our separate ways until the next time humping and cuddling and eating is ready. Anyhow, this is Colleen Bollinger. She got really famous for a skit that she does, a character she does on a channel she had called, I think she still has it, called Miranda Sings, where she puts on really bad makeup and makes a complete ass of herself. And for some reason, like 2 weeks ago, she popped up in my feed. Somebody that I follow had seen this video and was like, what the hell? And so I went and watched it. And it's her singing while she's playing a ukulele about how basically everything you hear about her is just made up gossip.
Yeah,
although she admits to some of it. Some of it is her making mistakes when she was young.
Yeah, look, Monkey, nothing says apology quite the same way a ukulele does. I mean, Tiny Tim was just a master of, he was the Cyrano de Bergerac of apology tunes.
Now, the things that she's accused of, some of them are petty. She was talking to her young fans. Okay. Some of it's a little more disturbing, where she was talking to her young fans about sex. And some of it is very disturbing, and she should probably be in jail, where she was doing things like sending her panties to her underage fans. Yeah.
Don't do that.
And she came out and made a song where she's talking about gossip. Everybody's gossiping. Yes, Stevie, she sent her panties to an underage fan when she was an adult.
Yeah, what is she, like 30?
She's in her 30s now. She was in her mid-20s at the time. Yeah. So this kid comes out and makes a video explaining, bad shit that she's done, and she comes out and makes an apology, and it goes away for several years. And then more recently, another kid comes out and, yeah, she did some grooming shit to me too. And so people picked it back up, and that's why I was, oh my God, I can't believe you guys are mad about this. You sent your panties to a child. And she's like, I just kind of made some mistakes when I was younger. Well, that's not mistakes.
Doing it through shitty song. I mean, this was borderline ukulele rap.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't really flow well. She's just kind of freestyling.
Well, I'm going to disagree with you. This was all planned. This was written. And I'll tell you how you can tell. There's parts of this where she's clearly practiced it. She holds notes. She does pregnant pauses. All of it. This was all planned. It was planned to look like she was doing it off the cuff.
That's sad if this is the plan.
This was all planned. Absolutely. This was rehearsed.
Well, she should have listened to whatever PR person told her this was a stupid idea. Because, if she has one, they told her not to do this.
She's another one of those girls who was not popular in high school. And instead of going into teaching, Jack, she goes into YouTube. And she suddenly becomes famous. And she's got all these kids who are attached to her. I mean, he's like the captain of the football team. Sure, he's 14, but it's his Rocket League that he's the captain of the football team. I'll send him my panties. We have a problem with people who have not grown up and getting put into positions that they should not be in because they're not mentally prepared for it.
We don't make people grow up anymore. I mean, you can stay on your parents' health insurance till you're 26. There's no wars going on. They're not getting drafted or put in the military. There's very few reasons for the average kid to actually have to grow up at 18. There's no responsibility anymore. So this really doesn't surprise me in a way, but at the same time, we've created apparently a generation of dirty pedos. So, I don't know. This is disgusting shit. Can you throw the link to the video in the chat for people?
I don't have the link to the video. That was just a still picture from it.
Oh, my bad.
I haven't seen a link to the video in a couple of weeks.
It's probably gotten taken down. It's out there. There are people that are talking about this crazy bitch.
I know you can see bits and pieces of it. I know, let's see, Moist Critical did it. Penguin Zero here on YouTube.
Maybe that's who it was. Maybe that's the link you gave me. It was Penguin.
Tons of people have covered this already. Very few have shown the whole thing because they're worried about her copyright striking them because it's a song.
Yeah.
Nothing for you says, what's her name? Colleen Bollinger? Or you can, Miranda Sings. I think it was on her Colleen Bollinger YouTube because she has a couple. But yeah, dirty bitch. Keldrick, thank you. That's a woman who will suck the soul out of your body. That's not a euphemism. She looks like she'll literally consume your soul. I don't think you're wrong.
I'm going to give the link to Moist Critical's video.
Thank you so much, bud. And again, his doesn't show the whole thing, but you'll get the gist from it.
Yeah.
All right, Jack, we're going to watch a video. We haven't watched the video yet tonight. God, I wish I was on better internet because this one's fun, Jack. I don't know if you saw this video. Couple of lesbian police officers are going to apprehend a man.
Oh, is a male officer going to show up?
No.
Do it? Oh.
No. All right, so here it goes. And I know it's a little choppy, guys, but the important part we'll show you in a second. The lesbians are like, hey, stop. We need you to stop. I turned off the volume, so I'm just going to do it myself. And he's like, nah, bruh, I ain't stopping. And they're like, stop. And you're like, get the hell off of me. Now, these are two powerful lesbians, Jack.
Yeah, they're big, burly, totally could do the job lesbians. They're like, he's like, what I do wrong? And they're like, you should know.
I forget what he actually did wrong. It's in the tweet, and we'll look at it at the end if I remember. But
no, he should know. I mean, he should know why they're mad.
So he's like, nah. He just pulls his hand right away from both of them.
Yeah, because they're like 100 pounds soaking wet.
Hey, these lesbian officers, they did a great job here. Now,
I hate to see a bad job.
Now see, this gentleman right here is not a police officer.
Oh, is he coming up and doing nipple twisting on this guy?
Yes, he's doing with purple nurple right here.
Yeah, that's what it looks like. and somebody gave him $20 because he's doing a nipple stream.
This guy is just a bouncer at a nearby club who saw this going on and came over to help these female police officers because they could not control this guy.
Yeah, you got an out of shape middle aged man coming up to do some nipple twists on this dude that these two chick cops that supposedly had training can't take down, and he's going to take him down.
Look at how hard this chick is tugging on that arm.
Yeah, and look how badly her form is, too. She doesn't know how to do a proper takedown.
And this guy could not give a shit less. No. It reminded me, Jack, when I was younger, we used to play football in the side yard. And there was one day, there was nobody who wanted to play. It was me, my younger brother, and our one neighbor. And it was just the three of us. Like, all right, we'll just play against each other. And I would just hike the ball to myself. They were on one team and me on the other. And they would jump on me. And I would literally just walk it to where we decided the end zone was. Because my little brother, even though he's only a year younger than me, is quite smaller than me. And his friend couldn't have weighed 50 pounds. And that's what I was reminded of this. I'm like, oh my God, it's like my childhood. Anyhow, back to the purple nurple. He's pulling, trying to get him down. The one female police officer here, wait, we got to celebrate her victory. She does manage to get a handcuff on him, which isn't going to help at all when you can't get his hands behind his back.
No, you just gave him a free set of $50 handcuffs. Good job, dum-dum.
Now, this is a man whose pants are coming off. His pants are literally down to his knees.
Which should make this easier, but...
It took a man to come over to get this guy down.
And look where his knee is. Uh-oh. Oh.
So there's your valiant lesbian police officers. Our tweet tells us, breaking news, 2 female officers from the NYPD 6th Precinct, Officer Gomez and Officer Grulin, both members of the LGBTQ community, made an arrest after a man started throwing garbage cans around. The officers were assaulted during the takedown. Security guard from a nearby club assisted in the arrest. No, he's the one that made the arrest possible.
Yeah.
Without him, this arrest doesn't happen. So anyway, Jack, good job to the ladies in blue.
They're lucky this guy wasn't some violent, psychotic felon, because he easily could have overpowered one of them and gotten their gun.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, and even if he had just gotten the mace, but he could easily have gotten one of their guns if he tried.
Yeah, and at the end there, I don't know if you saw it because I know it's choppy. I'll throw the video into chat. But the only reason they finally got his other arm back was because he put it back. He stopped fighting. He could have easily, even with that other guy, because the other guy wasn't doing that much. He helped put him down. But he was being very careful not to like assault the guy.
Yeah.
He could have easily got up again.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
He was just pushing those girls around.
If he had been a little younger, he probably could take it off and outrun them.
I am not saying this because I don't think women should be police officers because they're women. I don't want women to get hurt.
Yeah, well, there could have been 2 dead female cops if this guy had been a much more evil person.
Yeah.
Like I said, he easily could have gotten their weapons and just shot them both right there. But he didn't. And thankfully, this security guard came up and gave a hand. But this is ridiculous. I'm sorry, ladies. You're not built for the work.
Look, there are some bigger ladies who probably could have taken that guy down. Not these 2. These 2 should be meter maids.
Yeah. Yeah, nobody not me said luckily he wasn't smoking in public. Yeah, they would have got him in a chokehold straight away.
Oh, fuck. That fucking video. Did we? Yep. We didn't watch that yesterday, did we?
No.
God bless. That one pissed me off.
Yeah.
So
I know.
I have it queued up here somewhere. Oh, we got that one too. That story, shit, and that one. Fuck, I got so much to do still. So much to do. Anyway, That song was playing earlier today.
A little Smash Mouth to make your day better.
Little Smash Mouth. And the little one goes, I know this song. I say, you do? She goes, Shrek. I'm like, yes, you're right. You're not wrong about that part. Anyhow, so this is an arrest.
Another Shrek movie.
Yes, they're making Shrek 5.
Why?
I'm okay with them making a Shrek 5 as long as they do as well as they have with the others. I like Shrek 1, 2, and 4. The third one is a little but the fourth one was really good.
I don't like any of them.
Hopefully they do a good job with it. You don't like any of the Shrek movies?
Nope. I think they're stupid.
That's not AOC, just to be clear. I didn't like 3. Yeah, 3 just kind of falls apart for me. Puss in Boots 2 was really good. I still haven't watched the whole thing, but what I have seen of it's not bad. Anyhow, so this man smoking, or he was stopped for smoking outside in a park.
Yeah, they accused him of smoking in the park, which is illegal, but he's not actually in the park because you can see the wall behind him.
Can we stop though and talk about the fact that it's illegal to smoke in an outdoor park?
New York has a lot of stupid fucking rules because they're a bunch of bureaucratic fascists, for lack of a better expression. They love their bureaucracy and they love making new laws to try and generate revenue because they like to mismanage their money.
I don't want to actually watch much of the video, one, because we got the choppiness, but no, there was a cop right back here. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 police officers so far.
Mm-hmm.
There is a 7th one hiding right there, the little girl.
Yep.
7. There's going to be another female cop. 8. 8 goddamn cops to arrest this guy. Now, he refused to give his ID when they stopped him for smoking.
Yes. By the way, I counted 10 when I went through this video. There are 10 cops there.
10 total that come up. Yeah, here's another one. She's new, so that's 9. And he might be 10. But yeah, there's almost a dozen cops for a guy who wouldn't give his ID for smoking in the park.
Yeah. New York is an ID state, but only under certain circumstances. And since he wasn't smoking in the park, he technically didn't commit a crime, so they can't just walk up and ask him for ID.
Now, the cops insist he was smoking in the park. They're saying he's in the park right now.
Yeah, one of the cops actually says the sidewalk is part of the park.
Yes, he says that.
Yeah, this is the NYPD at its finest.
10 cops for somebody smoking in the outdoors.
Yep.
10.
Cigarettes, too. Not even weed, just cigarettes.
Meanwhile, if you want to flash your boobies or your wiener at a kid, no big deal.
Yeah, well, I mean, don't want to be a bigot, do you?
No. That's what he should have said. He should have said, hey, I'm pride smoking. I'm smoking a pole right now. How dare you? This is my pride celebration. Anyway, yeah. The whole anti-smoking thing has gone retarded. It's been retarded for a long time, but...
Well, this is 10 cops. On my tweet, I said it was 8, but there's actually 10. Because I went and watched the video again. I saw there were extras. But you have at least 8 cops, probably 10, based on my view of it. What a complete fucking waste of manpower.
Yep.
This is what you do with our tax dollars? You go after some dude for like a $50 fine? Fuck off. They need to cut their budget if this is what they're spending their money on.
All right. I'm going to switch gears again here. We're going to watch Casey DeSantis, Jack.
Oh, yeah? Is she going to jiggle her boobies? Oh, wait.
Oh, I wish, because she's hot. She's cute. She's not. I don't think she's all that high. I think she's cute.
She's getting old, but yeah, she's cute. She's way out of his league.
For a politician's wife, she's like a 13 out of 10.
That's true.
But anyhow, this is her at something, and she's talking.
You try to do in Florida like, you know, we have early 19th century French wallpaper, which is beautiful in the state dining room. It's supposed to be what Ponce de Leon saw when he landed in St. Augustine, right? Like there's this whole story behind how it came to be. And you should see the governor sprinting into the state dining room because you have maybe DeSantis with macaroni and cheese colored crayons because they think it's a giant color by number.
Kids will do that. Kids will write on the wall, just so you know. Isn't it weird that they have 17th century wallpaper up in there?
No, it was founded by the Spanish in the 1700s. So
it's wallpaper.
Yeah, it's really old wallpaper.
That just makes it old wallpaper. Put new shit up.
No, that shit's worth a fortune. You got to take that down carefully and sell it.
Nah, see, this is where my American it kicks in. I don't care about old things that much, and certainly not old wallpaper. I don't give a shit about old wallpaper at all.
If you were from the Victorian era, you'd care a lot because it was laced with arsenic and sometimes uranium. So you could actually die from just breathing in the room. And that's a real problem they had.
Fair enough, but I am not from the 17th century.
So you claim.
We're not talking about the outside architecture. We're talking about the fucking wallpaper. Anyhow,
fancy wallpaper.
It's on
display. It's a museum piece.
We have figured out, though, on early 19th century French wallpaper that magic erasers do work. They don't leave any lasting damage. We've also figured out you can get slime out of Oriental rugs. If you move fast enough, just can't let it sit in. We've also, and these are all true stories. I mean, I can go on forever. They like to throw the slime because my daughter Madison loves slime. I don't know if your grandkids are into this.
My grandkids love slime too. I don't like cleaning that shit up. So, you know, we don't buy that shit.
Yeah. It just sounds like she's an inattentive parent.
It's somebody being too nice to their kid. Yeah. Hey, how about we get Play-Doh instead? Because Play-Doh's easy to get off.
That's true. But this is why she's gonna have to bail that kid out of rehab at some point.
Yeah, you can't be like, hey, give him the shit that's gonna tear up the carpet. But anyway, they found a way to clean it. It's their choice, I suppose.
Slime. They throw it up on the roof into the ceiling and it leaves marks. So every room, if you ever come for a visit, just look and you'll find different slime literally on the rooftop. So lots of stories about fun and trying to replace Florida's irreplaceable history and trying not to get a bill after the term. You tried.
Okay, so cute little story about her having to take care of her family and stuff. We can argue about whether she's a good or bad mom for the slime thing, but I mean, kids are kids. And if you're going to have young kids in a place like the governor's mansion, not everything's going to make it out, Jack.
Yeah, that's true. I'd be a little concerned if I'm on a tour group, though, and I'm walking and this giant ceiling snot hits me. I'd be like, what the shit is happening? Is this the Amityville house? What's going on?
It's Ghostbusters 2, man. You just got to sing to it happily and it'll be nice to you. Anyway, this video set Miss Laura Loomer off.
Oh my God. Why?
Because she is so anti-DeSantis, it's not funny. And she said, watch. Jill DeSantis laughs about how her 3 kids are destroying the historical Florida governor's mansion, destroying the wallpaper and the rooftop. I'm sorry, but if the DeSantises can't even control their own kids, how will they control the country? This isn't even funny.
No, this is stupid. But also, it wasn't the rooftop; it was the ceiling.
Yeah, thank you.
People are dumb.
Thank you. She says roof, Casey, but then she corrects herself and says ceiling.
Yeah, and then she says roof again because she's like stuck on the word. You know, when you get that one fuck up in your head and you can't get rid of it.
Oh yeah.
We've done it for sure, but. Yeah, I get what she was trying to say, but
Peter says she's not exactly wrong. She's 100% wrong. There is no correlation from not being able to stop a 3-year-old from trying to write on the wall and running the country. There's just no correlation there.
Plus, Mrs. DeSantis isn't the one running.
And Well, she says, but if the DeSantises can't control their kids, it seems like he's controlling Florida. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it just sounds like they let their kids be a little rough with stuff, but they are like 3, so
well,
I don't know. I just don't care about this.
She specifically says Ron will run after the kid to get him to stop doing it.
Yeah, look, if they're that worried about the antiques, they should take a bunch of them out of the building.
Put up
the wallpaper, like you said, is replaceable.
And she even says it because destroying the wallpaper. No, she said they're able to clean it. Wallpaper's not getting destroyed. It's getting crayon on it. It's getting wax on it, you silly bitch.
Yeah, I also don't care that much about the wallpaper.
Well,
they can recreate the wallpaper if they need to. Be like, we did it in the style of the time.
Here's my fun with this. This is just Laura Loomer being jealous that Casey has kids. Ooh. Her uterus is shriveling up. It's starting to look like her tires. Nobody wants to put a baby in there, not even her husband. And women get jealous of other women with babies.
That is very true.
It's 100% true. Johnny Hillcat, thank you. No correlation unless Dan Quayle is your VP. Fair enough. Fair enough. Although Dan Quayle was a Harvard-educated man. I guess we should have known about Harvard as soon as we found that out.
Should have been a little bit of a red flag there, I guess.
A little bit. I still don't understand why they chose him. I mean, there was no benefit to choosing Dan Quayle.
He was the Kamala Harris of the time.
Really was.
Like, we could get rid of this guy, but look at the backup.
Like her tired. Look, I've tried to be nice about this on Twitter because I have said it to Miss Loomer. And Miss Loomer, I've started calling her Baron von Loomer.
Spelled Baron like the wasteland,
yes.
right?
Barren.
Nice.
Baron von Loomer here. She's upset now because I wasn't the only one who pointed out that she's just jealous because her womb's all dried up.
Wow.
Yeah. And she's fighting back. It's those damn DeSantis people. Like, fuck you, silly bitch.
This weird rivalry between like the Trump fans and the DeSantis fans is not productive, and I think a lot of it is being manufactured by the Democrats.
Oh yeah,
try and make the party divided because it's totally counterproductive. If you're not willing to vote for either of these men or one of them, you're probably not going to vote. We're going to have a lot of people that just sit it out, and then Biden's going to win again because one of them is likely going to be the candidate.
Yeah, yeah. Well, there's stuff going around in the Trump circles today. It's a video of Ron. You know what? I think I have it somewhere. Let me bring it up. Go back to my profile. Oh, you know what? I think I just liked the one response to it, didn't I? Oh, it was going to take a while. Oh, there it is. It's one of the last things I did. Okay, so there's this video of Ron DeSantis, and it's being presented as though it was just done by people who support Trump. Sorry about that. That sounds loud as shit. Was that loud, Jack?
Not really.
Okay. So here's what DeSantis has to say.
Putin, if you look at the operation that they did with the spear phishing and the hacking, I mean, that was really a third-rate operation. It was not sophisticated. And I think the House Intel report and the Mueller indictment kind of show that. But man, what mileage have they gotten out of that? And a lot of that is being driven by the president's political opponents, both in the Democratic Party and the press. And I think that's what bugs him about the issue is that it's used to try to delegitimize his election victory. I personally think that the Intel report and the indictment are credible in terms of assigning blame, culpability to Russia.
So the only thing that could even be considered wrong there, if you're a Trump supporter, is that he says that he thinks Russia's to blame. The entire rest of that is him defending Trump.
Yeah.
But this is being played out there. Oh, look at how bad he's doing. This is from 2018, by the way, Jack.
Oh.
Yeah. So this isn't even new. But this dude, who's advising this guy? Cortez, bro, tag yourself out before you tap, or tag yourself in before the tap out. Suicidal tendencies are the name of the brand, not a campaign strategy. It's him defending Trump, you fucking silly bastard. He's defending the fucking man. I believe the Mueller report, what he's talking about there specifically, that was the Russians. That's it. The Russians were the one who did it. He called it a third-rate operation. He didn't say that the Russians helped Trump at all. He was talking about specifically the hacking, which was more of a phishing campaign, honestly.
Yeah, well, that's what he said. So
some dumb fuck in the DNC gave out their password. But yeah, I mean, fuck. He's defending Trump. Why would you take that? Why would you try to use that to destroy DeSantis?
Yeah, that's dumb.
If I were on the Trump side, I would be going, see, even Ron says that he wasn't involved and it's just people using it to attack Trump. Because that's what he says.
Yep.
I have so much tonight, Jack, and I really wasn't on Twitter that long. I don't want to bring that up yet. Don't care about that one. We watched that one. Did you see Elon Musk he did a tweet that says Zuck is a cuck?
Missed that one.
I really hope they fight. All right. This is the one I wanted to talk about. Let me get the story loaded up here real fast. Load up, bitch.
I hope they wear exoskeletons like in Robot Jocks.
Oh, that'd be awesome. I think Zuck would get his ass kicked because people are like, oh, Elon's fat. Elon is still in decent shape for his age.
Well, people keep trying to tell me that Zuckerberg is like big into jujitsu and stuff. Not buying it. Sorry. That was probably his Android double. That was lore.
FDA needs to probe caffeine-packed prime energy drink targeting kids, according to Chucky Schumer.
Well, they going to target Pepsi next?
Hold that thought. The wildly popular energy drink Prime should be investigated by the FDA for marketing its potentially dangerous cauldron of caffeine to kids, Senator Chuck Schumer said Sunday. That gargoyle cunt. Oh, whoops. Damn it.
You said it. You said the C word. He said the magic word. Ah!
Yeah. A single 12-ounce can of the flashy energy drink peddled by powerhouse influencers like Logan Paul. Doesn't Logan Paul own part of it?
Probably.
Him and KSI went in on owning that one, right?
I don't keep track of that shit.
They're like peddling it. Yeah, they're peddling it because he's selling his fucking product. Anyway, packs more caffeine than nearly 2 Red Bulls or about a 6-pack of Coke, according to New York Democrat.
That's a lot of caffeine.
One of the summer's hottest status symbols for kids is not any outfit. It's not a toy. It's a beverage, Schumer said to reporters at a press conference. But buyers and parents beware because it's a serious health concern for the kids it so feverishly targets. I'm just going to stop there because I don't care about the rest of the story. My issue with this, Jack, is that they're out there going, hey, this caffeine it's potentially bad for your kids. Meanwhile, we're being told that it's perfectly normal to give them hormone blockers.
Yeah.
We're being told that this is a trend, but we're also being told, hey, kids don't really fall for trends. That's not a thing. They really just know who and what they are.
Yeah, let the people that eat Tide Pods make these kind of life-altering choices. That's brilliant.
If the kids can decide that they're actually the opposite sex and cut off their body parts, or at the very least start taking things that stop them from, advancing the way they're supposed to physiologically, shouldn't they be able to decide what they drink? I mean, isn't what you drink a little bit, I don't know, more minor than cutting off your wiener or your boobies? I just feel like it is. I just feel like there's a bigger problem here than kids getting too much caffeine.
Oh, you would. Ugh, you bigot.
By all means, look into this drink and warn parents that, hey, this thing has a whole bunch of caffeine. But he specifically thought it's a trend. It's a trend. But we're told things like the trans thing, where for out of nowhere, it's jumping up to 20% from less than 0.1%. Far less than 0.1, actually. No. It could not be any kind of societal influence. Couldn't be trendiness among their friends, because that doesn't happen. But with a fucking energy drink, it does? Really?
Hold on. Thank you, Keldrick. Listen, if we don't adopt the tactics of the left, how can the right beat them at their game? And the left's most prolific tactic is cannibalizing each other over minor differences in belief. I get your point, man. Yeah.
I've been arguing against it. Stop acting like the left, guys.
Yeah. Stop cannibalizing your own party, because you're just alienating each other. It's stupid and childish. It's very counterproductive. And I'm pretty sure it's a comedy plot. But look, I think they're really saying that what happens when you get a lot of caffeine is you have a sugar crash, right?
Or you have a caffeine crash.
Yeah, you get my point, though.
Sure.
Like 1 a.m. Leave me alone. So when kids are working, because they hunger for the mines, the last thing you want is a kid out there trying to mine for gold, and he crashes from sugar or caffeine. He's not going to be able to fight off whatever pit beast lives out there.
Well, here's the thing, Jack. You figure out how long it lasts before the crash, right? So let's say it lasts 6 hours. So at 5 hours, you give them a new one. Yeah, problem solved.
Oh, is that why they have the 6-hour energy drinks? Those little shot-sized ones that could easily fit in a child's pocket?
Yeah, that way you can take the next one when you know.
Oh.
Guys, we are brought to you by you. Please consider donating to the channel. This is how Jack and I eat. Also, hit the like button, the share button, thumbs up it, and tell your friends, your family, your cat, anybody who will watch, get them here watching. That was a good show, right?
Yeah.
And Nuts, thank you so much for dropping the link, sweetheart. And over there on the other channel, usually Rebel's the one who's dropping them, but everybody who drops links for us, the one top is Dangerous Spaces. Thank you guys for doing that for us.
Yeah, absolutely.
We never ask these guys to do it, and they always just do it out of the goodness of their heart because they support the channel. You guys are awesome.
Yeah, we appreciate it. Nobody Not Me said, gonna make kids fatter. Yeah, they got to fatten them up for the reptilians.
Well, does this one have any sugar in it? It's just caffeine, right?
Yeah, but all the energy drinks and stuff are full of garbage.
I don't support this crap. I don't even like the other energy drinks, Monster, Red Bull, any of that shit. I stay away from it.
It's all bad for you.
I still do my caffeine the way I do it. I mainline Diet Pepsi. Although I have been drinking waters, Jack, that don't have caffeine in them. So, I've been mixing it up a little bit. But this kind of stuff, man, I just don't trust it. That's too much caffeine.
I drank one of those monster drinks. I think it was called Surge, something like that.
Oh yeah, Surge.
Yeah, and man, I thought I was gonna have a heart attack. My heart was fluttering. It was going so fast.
My issue is that they think this is a big thing to worry about, but yeah, hormone replacement is fine. Literally changing kids' bodies is fine.
Oh, they're correcting it, monkey, because God made a mistake.
Telling me that 4-month-olds can tell you that they're trans, that makes sense. But you can't let them decide what to drink because they're kids. They don't know anything.
Well, kids are dumb, so we should let them make any of these decisions. But yeah, I mean, you're wrong. Not wrong. The hills they choose to die on are very weird.
Exactly. And I don't understand. I just don't get it. To me,
they don't make sense. It's just the way it is.
To me, hormone blockers is a much bigger deal than this. Once again, you'll be lied to about hormone blockers. I saw just the other day somebody go, hormone blockers have no long-term effects. Bullshit. long before they were used to have trendy hipsters pretend that they're boys or girls, they were used to try to help girls grow taller. And they found out, eventually stuff starts to kick in as normal. However, the damage is done. And in about 10 years, bones start falling apart. Hips, jaws. You ever heard of somebody whose jaw just breaks out of nowhere?
Did that happen to that guy from At the Movies, Roger Ebert?
Did it? Was he taking hormone blockers?
No, he had some weird disease where his jaw disintegrated. And they made him look like a creepy monster.
If you have a disease, sure. There are bone diseases that'll eat away at your bones. But these were 20-year-olds.
That's messed up.
20-year-old girls. And they hip replacement at 20. What the fuck? And that was just because the girls wanted to get taller. They were trying to put off puberty so that you'd keep growing. And then once you hit puberty, pretty much your body decides how tall you're going to be. and that's the end of it. So they were trying to help these girls gain a couple of inches before puberty kicked in.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, it's stupid. Just like, you're going to be short. It's okay. Did you see that guy who got his legs lengthened?
I've seen that before. No, it's horrifying.
Just be a man. You're short. Suck it up. Fuck. Oh, but girls don't like me short. Find a short chick. Fuck off. God damn. Get yourself a big mama you can climb. Damn.
Ugh.
I don't mean like really fat, dude. I just mean tall.
Oh.
Yeah. Climb that bitch like a tree.
Yeah, I heard there's this chick named Pearly Things that's available.
Yeah, you got to climb her more like a mountain. Anyhow, yeah, so guys, the FDA needs to step in to fix that shit because those damn kids, they're drinking the good stuff, Jack.
Yeah, those damn parents letting their kids drink things.
It's just so weird what we decide kids can and cannot decide for themselves. I personally don't think they should be able to decide any of that. I really don't. Krasenstein's being dumb again. Jack, okay, so you tell me if I'm wrong in this, okay? And I want your honest opinion.
Okay.
Brian Krasenstein came out with a post today, and I'm not going to read it. I'll just give you the gist. We basically said, hey, you need to get out of your bubble. You need to talk to people you disagree with. This is how we learn to get along. And I told him he was full of shit and he can't pull a Biden because he has too much history we can all see. And there was a person who argued with me, but what about his message? What about his message? And here's my point. I don't believe he believes in his message. One, I can still read the other shit he posts every day, where he's quite clearly trying to paint people as evil because they disagree with him politically. So him coming out with this kumbaya bullshit is just that. Bullshit. Now, am I wrong for calling that out, or should I have been like, oh, good for you for finally catching on?
No, you're right for calling it out. Look, when people like Krasenstein say we need to work on get unity and bridging our divide and all that shit, what they really mean is you need to come over to our side.
Yes.
That's all they mean.
It literally is the Biden model.
Yeah.
Where he's like, we need to all get along. And then like the next day he's like, Republicans are assholes.
Yeah, it's unity through capitulation.
And I'm not putting up with it, and especially not from that piece of shit. That little cocksucker. He's a bad man. Him and his brother are thieves. The only reason they're not in prison is because they gave nearly $500,000 to the government to stay out of prison. They just turned over their ill-gotten gains. Oh, I fucking hate these people. Okay, unity, and then they stab you in the back. I would love to talk to this fucker. I really would. I'd like to talk to Brian Krasenstein. One, I just think it would be really funny to have the dichotomy of my voice against his. I got this manly voice and he sounds like he hasn't hit puberty yet. He sounds like a girl who hasn't hit puberty yet.
Wow.
I'm not being mean. He really does sound like that. So I think that alone would be funny. But he also doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about. So I'd be happy to talk to him.
I have a feeling he would just try and frustrate you by being disingenuous and never answering a question.
I hear you, but I've been honing my debating ability, Jack, a lot better, and not letting people take me off topic. It's something I had to work on because me, I like to scream at people.
Yeah.
I'm happy to go down whatever fucking rabbit hole you want to and call you a dumbass along the way. But yeah, I've been honing that ability. So no. We can talk about that later if you want to. Let's talk about this. So I would love to. I'd love to, like him and his dumbass brother yesterday, trying to compare the documents at Mar-a-Lago and somehow related January 6th to what happened in Benghazi, because the cost of the investigations was the same. Oh yeah, let's discuss that out loud. Let's talk about that with our voices and see if I can't make you cry with my words alone. Pretty sure I could.
You're a big meanie.
I really am. Because I am a mean person.
That's what the M in MAGA stands for. It stands for mean.
This is what the M in monkey stands for.
Oh.
I don't know what the other letters stand for, but the M is definitely mean. It's my mom's fault. She wouldn't let me just hit people.
Well, we can't just run around hitting people, especially with shovels.
But let me ask you this. The kids that I made cry with my words alone, do you think that they would have rather just got hit?
Probably not.
Or especially in this day and age where nothing hurts worse than war, they're probably still crying about it, little bitches.
Yeah, probably.
Little bitch ass kids.
Yeah, like that girl you hit in the head with a shovel.
No, she liked me, man. She was my first a kiss. We didn't, not like tonguey, but me kissing a girl that wasn't in my family. She was my first kiss after I hit her in the head with a shovel.
Yeah, CPR doesn't count, monkey. We all know that.
No, it wasn't CPR.
They just call it the kiss of life.
It was behind a bush in front of the house.
And she was like,
the second girl with the peck was across the street in her garage. I started young, Jack. I liked the ladies, and they liked me. All right. Yeah, that's done for me for tonight. Remember, guys, if you want to have any more to any of these stories, good luck, because we don't link them all. I was watching Vaush earlier today.
Oh, why?
Because he's on the rag over Anna Kasparian having a different opinion about something. And
is he jealous because she's a real woman?
Yeah, I think so. But she said on one of her shows that she brings up that they locked a anti-trans advocate in a closet basically for 3 hours.
Yeah.
And he says this: there's no crime there. That's actually kidnapping, fucker.
Yeah,
that's literally a crime.
Explains a lot about Vaush.
Yeah. And Anna says, during the civil rights days, that's not how they accomplished things. They were peaceful.
Yeah.
And so Vaush brings up this article about how Samuel L. Jackson, when he was in college at Morehead College, he boarded some administrators, including Martin Luther King Jr.'s dad, in a building for 2 days.
Wow, that's horrifying.
Yeah, he ended up getting kicked out of the college over it. As far as I know, he didn't go to jail or anything. But then he joins the Black Panthers, and one day his mama shows up and takes his ass back to LA and you're not allowed back in Atlanta anymore. Reportedly because the FBI came to her house and said, if he's still here in a year, he's probably going to be dead.
That's sadly probably accurate.
Probably true. But here's the thing. Okay. You have one minor incident. One. Samuel L. Jackson did it. Can you give me more and show me anything where that actually changed stuff? Because he wanted some changes at Moorhead College, and they did capitulate dumbly. But that's not the civil right. He wasn't there fighting for, the right to vote.
Yeah, it's been proven time and time again that if you target random civilians, you lose support. That's why there's a distinction between terrorist and freedom fighter. Freedom fighters target governments, terrorists target citizens.
Yeah, and frankly, Samuel L. Jackson should have went to prison for what he did.
Oh, absolutely.
That's kidnapping. It's holding somebody against their will. So anyway, unlawful detainment at the very least, Jack.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, oh, God, that guy's a fucking idiot, man.
Well, he's a typical radical where the ends justify the means.
Well,
and it's just not true.
He's talking about the case with the what is it, 303 whatever, the case where they had Colorado's law where you can't deny service to the gays, and this guy's like, I don't want to, or this chick, I don't want to make gay websites. And that site had not even been created yet, Jack. Did you know that?
Yeah.
And Val's like, oh, well, then you can't, that's no standing, because you have to have something bad for you to have standing. And he goes to Wikipedia, because of course he does.
Of course he does.
And he's reading on there. He's like, see. And people in his comments go, see. So I go and read the case. The standing was decided because the lady said she had not created that because she was afraid if she did, because she was going to put on there, we don't do gay weddings, that she'd be violating the law and get arrested for it.
Mm-hmm.
And the court said that's standing because she has that fear. That is standing.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, is how the law works.
Yeah, but Vaush is an idiot and doesn't understand criminal law. He's also, not a lawyer.
I do not often comment on people's videos, but I could not help myself on that one and told him he should read the fucking case rather than Wiki, because it explains the standing right there for you. God, he's an idiot. See what I put myself through for you guys?
You did that anyway. What are you talking about?
I mean, yeah, I'm interested in the stuff, but okay, yeah, you're right. But I do it for them. I do it for them. Everything I do it for you.
Thanks, Brian Adams. Real quick, Frosted Glass, thank you. Monkey's Guide to Making It with the Ladies. You can't put a dent in your wallet or a dent in your shovel. You pick. Yeah, that's not a bad point.
Today we were outside and there was just little rain, very little, like every so often you get a raindrop. And me and the little one are getting ready to come inside. And she looks at me, she goes, oh, one just hit me in the head. And so I started singing, raindrops keep falling on my head. And she's getting ready to leave. And I'm talking to her. I say, what was your favorite part of today? And she starts singing, raindrops keep falling on my head. Like, oh my God, made Grandpa's day. Because Grandpa's singing was her favorite part of the day. Little cutesy story. I should have told that one right after the first thing we did.
Yeah, it got dark real fast this episode.
Look, I make no apologies for how we opened the show or my manly misting that happened there for just a second. I didn't cry, Jack. None of it came out of my eyes. That's not crying.
Even if you did, dead kids is a reason to cry. So
I choked up pretty hard.
That's perfectly acceptable.
Anyway, that is wholesome as fuck. I love that you said that, Mofo, because Mofo earlier was talking about how mean I'd been to Laura Loomer in a positive way. They enjoyed it. But yes, I there's a spectrum when it comes to the ranting monkey. I'm sweet. I'm kind and tender, and mean as fuck.
Just for the record, I for one do not think you're on the spectrum.
No, I'm not on the spectrum. I am a spectrum.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, I am a spectrum.
You're a prism of emotions.
Manly misting, it's allergies. Damn it. Damn Skippy. Okay. All right. Did I already share this? Can we see it on screen?
I don't know. I'm not looking.
Yeah, there we go. One of us should actually pay attention to the screen. Guys, this is the least professional monkey on the internet. Just letting y'all know. Feel like I'm on a spectrum too. Look, man, I'm an onion. All right. I have layers. I did that for you, Jack, because you don't like that movie. All right. Globalist Dutch government collapses. PM Mark Rutte resigns. Why did they put an E at the end of everything? That
Dutch.
Ricky,
I don't know.
That Ricky Pole dude, or whatever his name was, that won the Miss Netherlands thing, had an extra E for no damn reason.
They got a surplus of E's.
I guess so. As pro-farmer populists threaten to upend establishment in upcoming elections. Now, is this over all of the bullshit that they were doing with the Dutch farmers?
Yes.
Then let me say good, because this is fucking retarded. If Netherlands cannot hit their environmental goals that are imposed on them by the Paris Agreement or whatever stupid-ass agreement they're trying to follow there, tell those people to go to hell. Tell them to go get China to reduce theirs to make up for it.
Yeah.
Good luck with it, by the way.
Happen.
Yeah. China will just tell you to get bent. The globalist coalition government in the Netherlands collapsed on Friday evening. Good, because globalist governments are fucking nasty. They're communist bullshit is what they are.
Absolutely.
With Dutch Prime Minister Mark Rutte tendering his resignation to King Willem Alexander. They still have a king?
Yeah, technically. I think they have a very similar system to what the British have.
How many kings are left in the world? In the Western world?
I don't know. I don't keep track of those clowns.
There can't be that many. The French don't have a king, right?
No, not that I know of.
Do the Spanish? The Spanish don't still have kings, do they? I have no idea.
They did. I don't think they do anymore. I don't really think that's relevant here, though.
I'm just curious. I'm curious. Somebody said they think Spain does. I'm gonna have to look that up because Jack. The reason I'm asking is because this means if they still have kings, this means one day Europe could get back into a little war among the cousins, and I support that.
Don't worry, Ukraine might make it happen.
As long as they're not firing nukes or anything, I think they should be blowing each other up.
Oh, they're blowing each other, all right. That's how they have those weird faces and bad teeth.
Think of how much money we could make by sending them things like coffins and body bags.
Oh yeah,
we can make a killing.
Well, and we'd be over here like they'd be making the killing.
We'd be like, "Good luck. We like you all. We can't pick a side.
Welcome in and clean up."
The Spanish are bastards, so they probably still have a king. Yeah, somebody else said the Spanish king abdicated. Really? Didn't anybody else jump up and go, "I'm the new king"? I would have been forced to, Jack.
Maybe, but it's Spain. So does anybody really care?
I'm the new king of Spain. What are they going to do about it? That's what I thought.
Nothing.
Anyway, to the king on Saturday, paving the way for elections to be held by November and the possibility of a populist pro-farmer BBB party to come into power. The fourth government of Mark Rutte, 56, the Netherlands' longest-serving prime minister, collapsed on Friday evening as coalition partners were seemingly incapable of coming to a compromise on the issues of migration and asylum policy. That's what they're falling apart over? That's interesting. Marks the third time since coming to power in 2010 that Rutte's government failed to complete a full term in office. So somehow their government keeps falling apart, but he keeps getting elected as the prime minister?
Yeah, well, they got one of those goofy systems.
Netherlands. So. Have you heard the definition of insanity? They his term has failed 3 times. The alleged dispute that forced the cabinet to collapse came over calls from Root's neoliberal People's Party for Freedom. People's Party scares me, Jack.
Yeah, we've had a few groups with similar names that have turned out to be pretty sketchy.
Neoliberal People's Party for Freedom and Democracy. Just because you add freedom and democracy to People's Party doesn't make it sound any better, fucker. And the Christian Democratic Appeal. Wow. To cut migration and increase restrictions on family reunification of asylum seekers in the Netherlands. A move that the pro-mass migration coalition partner D66 and Christen Unie parties could not accept. The shock collapse of the government forced King Willem-Alexander to return to cut his vacation short. You're the king. Tell him to figure it out. To his country on Saturday to accept the resignation of Prime Minister Rutte. The collapse of the government comes as asylum applications in the country increased by a third. Holy shit. Yeah. In 2022 to 46,000, and projections expect over 70,000 more to come this year. Good God. The most since the 2015 European migrant crisis under a previous Rutte government. Once again, the definition of insanity. So, this is the most since the last time he did the same stupid shit. It's okay to tell people they can't come in your country. It really is. And all these little countries around the world where suddenly they have migrants because bad shit is happening. Can't we just tell them, go deal with your shit?
Apparently not.
All right. While Rutte appeared to try to take a harder line on migration in negotiations with his cabinet, some have questioned whether this was merely a political calculation to put himself in a position of strength in a fresh round of elections, which many have speculated would occur this year following the stunning regional elections that saw the insurgent Populist Farmers Citizen Movement, BBB. I'm sorry. I'm guessing Farmers Citizens Movement in Dutch actually starts with BBB.
Quite likely. Either that or you were doing a really good Tweaky impersonation from Buck Rogers.
I guess so. BBB. Become the largest party in the Senate and throughout regional governments earlier this year. Well, that's happening because of the way you've treated the farmers, man. And people probably want to eat.
Yeah. Farming is bad, man. We got to shut that down.
Responding to the collapse of the Rutte government, Dutch political commentator Eva Vlaardingerbroek said, I think the actual fall of the cabinet itself is all for show. The disagreement about immigration that they're mentioning as a deciding factor is not the real issue, because all government parties are in favor of more mass migration, including Mark Rutte's VVD. That's very venereal disease.
It does sound like a VD, BBBB.
BBB. You know who Ava Vlaardingerbroek is?
Yeah. I follow her on Twitter.
Do you? Yeah. If she's the one I'm thinking of, she was on with John Stossel not long ago. Very good interview. Very good interview.
She's very interesting. She covers a lot of the Dutch farmer stuff, and she's pretty widely hated by them, by the government, not the farmers. Farmers love her. Yeah, and on this side of the pond, she's like, because she tends to be more conservative. She is wholly conservative based on European standards. Damn. Oh yeah, she's borderline right wing. Yeah, she's damn near Hitler over there. I just want to make sure I'm talking about the right lady. The pretty blonde girl. That's not the one I'm thinking of. But I do know her. I know that name. It keeps popping up. And every time I see it, I think of my joke, what were you named by the British Town Naming Commission? Vlaardingerbroek. All right.
God damn it. They're going along. They're going with this plan, aren't they? Exclusive. Canada push to euthanize veterans with PTSD is disgusting, unacceptable, and infuriating, says female artillery gunner who spent 6 months on the front line in Afghanistan. Jack, do you remember when we were told it was a lie that a Canadian soldier called into their helpline and was told basically to go kill himself?
I remember that. And of course they lied about that. I mean, I'm so shocked that they would lie about something like that.
The problem is he had receipts.
Yeah, look, hate fact.
Canada. I get it. You guys apparently need to save money, but stop killing people.
They really like killing people, though.
They really do. I have a theory. Sorry, I was yawning.
Well, now they have to justify their budget by killing more people.
I think they've been nice for so long that this is how they're getting their aggression out.
Oh.
You have a better explanation for why they're killing everybody now?
I think they're doing it for some sort of Soylent Green tax revenue thing.
Maybe they read a Margaret Sanger book.
Yeah.
Chaos One, thank you so much. Saw a bunch of feminists go off about marriage today. It was insulting and infuriating. Statement like single women live longer because men are literal parasites. Men dying alone is hope that maybe the next generation will be scared into being decent people. Feminists are horrible people.
Yeah, and they're kind of stupid too.
But there's a rise of them on YouTube, which might make for some decent content coming up.
Yeah. Look, a lot of lonely, sad people need to do stuff, I guess. So
I mean, sometimes the cats won't give you attention.
Yeah.
You know how it is.
Yeah, especially
all right. Army veteran Kelsey Sharon was a fresh-faced 19-year-old when she first set foot on the combat field in Afghanistan. It proved to be a life-altering experience. 6 months later, the Canadian artillery gunner was still shaking on a military helicopter headed home after witnessing one of her comrades being blown to pieces after he set off an IED in the field as their battalion moved from compound to compound. Fuck.
Well, that'll do it.
Frosted, thank you. Remember, no death panels under single payer, guys. Yeah. You got to find a way to. You know how much you save by not having these PTSD guys getting counseling?
So fucked up.
That was my first exposure to watching someone die, and that was my exposure to having to clean up what was left of someone, Sharon told dailymail.com. The experience, she says, broke part of my brain. Yeah, seeing anybody die will fuck you up. Seeing somebody die horribly like that, I can't even imagine. You ever seen somebody die? It's not something to see.
It's not pleasant.
Once home, she turned to therapy and realized she was suffering from post-traumatic stress disorder. You were suffering from shell shock, sweetheart.
Same thing.
Unfortunately, but shell shock means little shitbags who got called the F slur on Twitter can't claim that they have PTSD.
I don't. They're lying little shitbags anyway. They should be allowed. They'll appropriate whatever they can.
Sharon made it her mission to help other veterans and has been an outspoken critic of the Canadian government's relaxed attitude towards euthanasia, including its push to make it available to veterans plagued by PTSD. What kind of fucking horrible monsters are up there running Canada right now?
Apparently a lot of people that want to murder people.
It's disgusting and unacceptable, she said, arguing that authorities would rather euthanize a soldier than foot the bill for their recovery. True. Canada has the most permissive assisted suicide program in the world. The country is on track to record some 13,500 state-sanctioned suicide in 2022. Is this an older story?
It might be.
A 34% rise on the 10,064 in 2021, according to Canada's euthanasia. Go ahead.
No, this is from yesterday.
Then why are they giving us? Okay, you understand why I asked with the way they wrote that, right?
Yeah, I had to
All
double
right.
check to see if I screwed up and gave you an old article.
Well, even an old article, this one's worth reading because you should not be trying to kill soldiers because they have severe psychological programs from watching their friends blow up.
Yeah, because you sent them to war.
Canadia's politicians are currently weighing whether to expand access to include. You know, sometimes in the sentence, it just breaks me. I can't.
I've noticed that.
Weighing whether to expand access to include children and the mentally ill.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Why not just open it to everybody? Just get it over with. Anybody who wants
look,
it can have it.
Abortion wasn't enough. They got to kill more. Their bloodthirst is limitless.
You want to have government-sanctioned euthanasia of children.
You know who else did that?
Who?
The Germans of that era.
I feel that the kids involved in that one weren't, on board with it.
Well, I mean, if children could cut up their genitals, apparently now they can decide to whack themselves too. It's fucking disgusting. I was enraged when I read all of this article. Everything about this sickens me.
Critics have argued the approach is a slippery slope. No. You're off the slope of that, but you've fallen down. You're talking about killing kids and the mentally ill, who, are basically not all there and can't make decisions themselves.
Yep.
You wouldn't let them sign a contract to buy a house, but you let them, I want to die. You fucking assholes. And you have people in Canada, despite what they're telling you, who push this on people. It was pushed on that vet. He wasn't even calling the Euthanasia folks. The euthanasia folks. He was calling the Veterans Helpline. Like, I'm having this problem. I need some help. And like, some of your comrades killed themselves. Have you thought about it?
Yeah, the help they're offering is not the help you wanted.
Yeah. This is fucking disgusting. But anyway, they've argued it's a slippery slope in a country where red tape makes it easier to access doctor-assisted suicide than it is to access benefits and help. What? I heard about how great their medical system was.
Yeah, it was all lies.
Yeah, I knew it was all lies, Jack. I had a friend who needed to have brain surgery and couldn't even get in to see the surgeon for 6 months.
Jesus.
Yeah. That's the great health system. I had my surgery in a couple of months, Jack. As soon as they realized what was wrong, I was in surgery like 2 weeks later.
Yeah, well, you live in America, and it's a better place.
And mine wasn't life-threatening.
Yeah, don't worry. They're going to find a way to fuck up our medical health so we're more like Canada.
Sharon is enraged by the unacceptable and infuriating law. She says she personally knows almost a dozen veterans who have been offered euthanasia by authorities. A disgusting approach to people who are willing to put their lives on the line. Hey, sweetie, they're just putting their lives on the line again. That's how you have to think about it. Then you have the audacity to tell them it's better off if you just die. Yeah, that's what they're saying to them. They absolutely are.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm going to throw this in for people who want to read it, Jack, because it goes on for a little while.
Yeah, it's a lengthy article. It's worth reading, though, especially if you live in Canada. They're going to try and kill you. Just telling you now.
Yeah, right now it might just be your friends, family, and children, but they will get to you.
Yeah.
Good God, man. See, this is why, Jack, making suicide illegal is kind of stupid because what are you going to do, arrest me after I'm dead? But the whole idea of
oh, sorry, go ahead.
The whole idea of state-sanctioned suicide is just, this is what's going to happen. It's going to eventually just push to more and more people.
Yeah, because they justify their budgets and the sad people are all gone. So they got to go to new heights.
you also have to justify why it's okay for X but not Y, and then okay,
Yeah.
we'll let Y, but why not Z? Okay, Z. What about Roman numeral 5? Okay, Roman. You just eventually have to give it to everybody. So why don't you just give it to them all right from the beginning? Fuck it. You're done with life. Go ahead.
I think one of the reasons they made suicide illegal is because then they could force you to get help. If you're trying to kill yourself, you're committing a crime. So we could have you evaluated by a shrink.
Yeah.
And put you in the nut house.
I get you, but I mean, if you do manage to get it done, there's nothing you can really do to the person. So
no, yeah.
I get what you're saying too. But making it just legalized and just go see your doctor. He'll give you a little shot and the world won't have to worry about you anymore. That's such a fucking horrible thing to put on people.
It really is.
And then you have people, not even necessarily in the medical community, but you'll see this online. Like, why do you want to be a burden to those who are around you?
Oh, yeah, that's so fucking gross.
It's fucking horrible. You're old. You had a life. Don't you think it's time? Fuck you. I am going to live as long as I fucking can. I like life, Jack. I enjoy it. Life lets me eat and play and do all kinds of things that you can't do when you're dead.
Yeah, that's true. So what you're saying is you're not sad.
I'm not sad at all. Even when I get sad, Jack, I'm not sad. I'm not depressed. I get a little weepy. Just get a little weepy. I got the weepies. What movie is that from?
I don't know. I'm an adult.
Anybody know what movie that's from? Somebody that I'm not mad, not sad. Just got the weepies. Oh no, it's not a movie. That's from Scrubs. It's from Scrubs.
Oh, that's probably why it didn't sound familiar.
When Carla has her postpartum depression, it's like it's just the weepies. Missing 14-year-old girl found at Camp Pendleton. Well, that's not good. Marine taken into custody. Yeah, he's good luck in Fort Leavenworth, sir. A 14-year-old girl who was reported missing in San Diego County last month is back home after she was found at Camp Pendleton, while a Marine has reportedly been taken into custody in the case, which is being investigated by human trafficking authorities. The girl, who's not been identified because of her age, was reported missing by her grandmother on June 13th, according to San Diego County. And then it just cuts off. I mean, I guess we have the gist of the article there.
That is the article. That's all that the update has.
But there's an S and then ...
Oh.
You see what I'm saying?
Oops. Yeah.
No, it's cool. It's cool. I mean, like I said, there's not much else to say there. 14-year-old girl found on an army base when she was in San Diego County. On a Marine base. That Marine's going to jail for a long, long time.
Yeah, there was. I think I grabbed the wrong article on this. Let me grab one of the other ones because there was a little bit more to it than that. Damn it! Fuck off with this shit. I don't want to see. I don't care about your stupid ads. Go away.
Keisha, I'm not going to read that out loud because I don't want to tell people where you should delete that. You should delete that. This to me, I mean, I'm guessing this was an online kind of thing, and I love you, and she's like, my parents suck, and I'll be nice to you. Why don't you come up here and let me child rape you?
No, it's slightly different than that. Thank you, Keldrick. Are you really an adult, Jack? No. I think we have plenty of video evidence to prove otherwise. You are correct, but I play one on CCTV. The girl was reported missing by her grandmother on June 13th, according to the San Diego County Sheriff's Office. On June 28th, she was discovered in the barracks at Camp Pendleton. A Marine with Combat Logistics Battalion 5, 1st Marine Logistics Group, has since been taken into custody for questioning by Naval Criminal Intelligence Services, not Agent Gibbs, according to some dude. This command takes this matter and all allegations very seriously. The incident's under investigation, and we will continue to cooperate with NCIS and appropriate authorities. NCIS declined to comment for CNN. Detectives interviewed the teen. The family was offered services, and she's been returned to her grandmother. Now, allegedly, what happened is this kid ran away, got picked up by some traffickers, and then sold to the Marine.
How do they know all that? Just from talking to her?
Supposedly. That's the current story. Yeah, according to who is this? Perez. Her aunt Cassandra Perez said in a TikTok video she was found in the barracks by military police. She had been sold to a soldier for sex.
Maybe. I'm sorry. I'm still sticking with my version of it because it makes more sense.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, yeah. Never mind. I'm gonna leave that there. Maybe he was sold, or she was sold to him. Either way, that man's going to jail for a long, long time.
Yeah, what dumbass brings this child sex trafficking victim to the fucking base? I mean, nobody's gonna notice that.
He lives in the barracks. I mean, where else is he gonna take her? He doesn't have he's a Marine. He's living in the barracks. He does not make a lot of money. He does not have the money to put her up at a hotel.
That's true.
Especially if he bought her.
What, storage units aren't available?
Still, he ain't got that money.
The aunt accused the military of trying to cover up the rape of her niece and said that the whole base is responsible.
You can't blame the whole base for that.
Yeah, she said there's a link to the TikTok in the New York Post article I dropped. The reality is the whole facility allowed this to happen. The security looked her in the face and allowed this man to bring a minor onto the base, where he then proceeded to have sex with her. Due to her age, she could not have given consent.
I am curious how he got her on the base.
I don't know. There is a photo of what looks like some log entries of who's going in and out of the base.
When you this is not the right article. Look, it's been a long time since I've been on a military base, but every time I went on base, I had to show my military ID.
Yeah.
You can sign in otherwise. That's easy. Trunk. Yeah, I mean, being in a trunk would be easy. I don't know. The story just doesn't sound right. This, maybe. But again, I don't blame the whole base for it. Hey, this is my niece and she's going along with it or something. You can still bring them in. So, you can't blame the base for not knowing that she's a missing person at that time.
Yeah, well, they're angry. It's still early on. They're gonna lash out.
Yeah, I mean,
it's just the way it is. You have to blame somebody for this.
Yeah, we'll see what happens with it. I mean, this is gonna be one that makes the papers for a little bit in that area, at least.
Yeah, I think largely the media will ignore it because they don't care about pedos.
Yeah. All right, we have a few more stories, Jack, but I've got to wrap this one up. Started yawning. I want to do a game stream tonight, and I don't think I'm going to be able to. I'm going to try, guys. No promises. But I have to try to stay up, Jack. I got to go get my heart checked out at 8 o'clock this morning.
Oh.
And if I go to sleep now, there's no freaking way I'm going to be up for that thing. Luckily, I don't have to drive far. It's just at the local hospital. So it's like a 5-minute drive, but I got to be up at 8 o'clock. So,
ew.
Yeah, I got to have an ultrasound in my heart. They got to see if it's pregnant or not.
Oh, well,
yeah.
Good luck.
Got to do the echocardiogram. Why am I still awake? For reasons I don't want to get into, just the normal stuff. All right, Jack. This was a good one. It was an interesting one. I give it a solid A minus. Solid A minus.
Oh yeah. That's
Mug, did you talk about the BBC pedo? Please tell me BBC is the British Broadcasting System.
Yes.
Okay. No, we didn't. I have no idea about that story. So
I think we touched on it a few days ago.
Okay.
But we didn't really sit down and talk about it.
Thank you guys for coming and hanging out with us tonight. Thank you so very much for the donations. for all the likes and shares and stuff you guys do. Thank you. Thank you. Please hit the like button on the way out if you haven't. Do that for anybody that you're watching. It does help them with the algorithm. Whether it's me or Jack or anybody else, just hit that thumbs up. Anything you want to show, Jack?
I'll drop a link to something as soon as I can. But thank you guys for the donations. You're very generous, and it helps quite a bit. And it's greatly appreciated.
I am going to try, no promises, to be over on the game channel. Follow me on Twitter or make sure you have the bell rung so you'll see it. That is Ranting Monkey Games here on YouTube. Link is down in the description. All right. I need a song for tonight, Jack. Let me think. I hate when I draw a blank when it's song time. Thank you guys for joining us. Jack, a pleasure as always.
Always glad to be here.
Everyone, take care of yourselves, and we'll see you next time.
Bye, everybody.
I should be singing about something funny, but my mind is a complete blank. When I lived in Virginia, my neighbor was a skank. That's true.